Hi, I'm Crafty Khandy with craftycandy.blogspot.com. Today I'm going to do a craft room video. I'll apologize in advance for all the wiggliness, but it's clean and it's bright, and so it's about the best day I'm going to get. I'm just going to go kind of around, and then I'll open up a few of the drawers and show you how I organize some of that stuff, but not all of them. Up on the wall over here, whoop, I can make my finger do it. This is a bulletin board and dry erase board I got in a swap with Steffi on Your Paper Pantry. My shelves are fairly empty. The goal is that I'll be able to kind of display things I get from my swaps. Right now I've got some jewelry I've made on there just so it's not so naked. TV, because I'm so lucky I can have a TV in my craft room. And then these are some of those random stamps from Stampin' Up! They don't store into my stamp storage well. They don't go on the wood rack walls well. That would be a box of pictures. I have an empty tin there. Oops, sorry. Okay. This pink bucket here is all my distress stuff, all the Tim Holtz inks, dyes, sandpapers. These are tools, random kind of tools I don't use very often, an extra glue gun. Don't look too close. My mom might see some things she thinks belong to her. She would be wrong. They might have used to. This drawer has all my Cricut cuts, all kinds of cuts that I've made, and some digi stamps. I have one drawer for packaging, for folders and cute little bags and stuff for packaging things up. And then I keep all my 8x8s and 6x6s together. Right here, these are all work in progress. I like these big 12x12 folders. If it's a mini album, I can keep the paper collection and the pictures and whatever, and if there are certain ribbons I bought for it. So that's kind of my work in progress. Yeah, that's a lot. And then I have my found objects in 3 ways. So I have letters, journaling spots, and words. If it's a word, a letter, or a journaling spot, it goes in this drawer. And then I have all my found metal in here. Things like keys and these little goofy things. This little frame. Metal, mostly metal things in there. And then this one is paper. All kinds of found paper. Sometimes it's pretty cards I find, or little tags or whatever. All kinds of found paper. Ephemera. And then I have 2 big drawers with punches. And then the bottom one is the border punches, but I'm not going to open it because it's heavy. And in this row, I have some embellishments I don't use very often, like buttons, and they're all organized, buttons and sequins. They're organized by color. And then in the front of it here, this is, okay, honestly, this is my to be filed. These are things I picked up recently and I haven't put in their home yet. This is my love bug drawer. Isn't that gorgeous? All my rumple ribbon and Mama's mesh and the new sheer ribbon and the balloons. I love it's probably my favorite drawer. And then I do my flowers in 3 different drawers. I do flat flowers, so everything in that drawer can go on Operation Ride Home card because they're nice and flat. Even if they're big, they're flat and they're not dimensional. Feathers are in there too for some reason. I don't know. And then I have all of the fabric flowers. Things that could maybe go on an OWH card. They could definitely go on my A2 cards that I'm going to mail. But these are fabric flowers. These are the gorgeous ones. These are super thick, super dimensional, all kinds of flowers like that. My mulberry flowers. And then I also keep in here the things I use with them, like the sprays. And the leaves when I build those little flower collages. That is always in there. I keep dyes and sprays, glimmer get mists in one pullout, and then I keep paints in another. All of my bags, whether it's paper bag, lunch bag, gift bags, cellophane bags. These are all bags are in this drawer. Who'd have thought I'd have that many? And these are envelopes that don't have a card. Like I've got somewhere else I have envelope and card sets because I don't want to break those up. But these are all envelopes I can use for random size cards, or envelope minis, or whatever. Okay, these 3 right here are all sewing related. I want to get better about adding sewing items to my projects. That is all sewing, which is why I made myself put that one on the top. And then I have paper, which is a disaster. Usually I do a Roy G. Biv, solid Roy G. Biv print, and then I put all my paper pads together. When I moved the craft room, I didn't get that done. It's not done yet. Up here, these are some ribbons that are too big to really be organized anywhere else, and I kind of like looking at them. This jar right here is a pretty vase I have that is just full of ends of ribbons, like the little 6-8 inches left on a spool. And then I have this and this. These are cards and minis and things I've made that are ready to give or to send or to mail or whatever. And then this is just a pretty bird cage that sits, it's a half cage, so it sits on the wall flat. And some tags that different people have sent, and some necklaces I've made that I'll hang on there. Okay, so that's this wall. That's what I look at when I sit at my desk. My desk is here by the window, so I get as much of the light as I can. Lamp, and then these are little organizing things like tags and fresh blades and my dots and my stamp blocks. In the window I have paintbrushes, glue sticks, and my rubber stamps that I stamp everything with. Underneath I have some like brads and things I use all the time in my ATG tape and my pile of 3 remotes, whatever. And then this basket right here, these are card pieces. I do a lot of cards in bulk for Operation Right Home, and so sometimes I'll end up with, you know, a half a dozen of these left, but whatever I was making the card with, I don't have another thing left. Well, this would be perfectly fine on another card one day. Sometimes when I'm kind of low on mojo, I'll go through this basket and start making a card. It's kind of empty because I cleaned it out when I moved. This is my super awesome pegboard that my daddy made me, which I love. I keep scissors in my crocodile, my ATG gun, hot glue gun, heat gun. We use a lot of guns. Do you ever think about that? I love it. And then in these baskets down here, I have all of my stuff for embossing. So if I'm heat embossing, I just pull that over. It has the tray, my little duster, the Versamark, all my embossing powders are in there. This one right here has alternate adhesives like glues and glossy accents and crackle accents. And then just various tools and tool holders. Up here is a banner that says Create that I made when I was back on mini album scraps like 2 years ago, and I've always loved it, so I keep it up. This here is a jewelry organizer. I keep random wood stamps with sentiments on it there, so if we can get a little closer. They say things. I don't like to separate my wood stamps from the bases, but you know, celebrate, for example, that I might use with 100 different images. So if it's stuck in the box, the one box that Stampin' Up! Sent it to me in, I'm going to forget it's there. So I feel like I use them more this way. We won't talk a lot about my closet. It's kind of a mess. But that's other stuff. We'll just call it that. And then, okay, so that's behind my desk. And then my opposite wall, I have these 1x2 shelves that I painted black and hung on the wall with L brackets. And I have my wooden stamps on there, which I love. You can see, especially you Stampin' Up! Geeks, they're not in the boxes the way they were sent to me. They're in the boxes so that I can maximize my shelf space. Like this one. This one, for example, has all those different butterflies and the owl in there. It frees up my space. All my background stamps are together over here. So that's my wood stamps. This is my cutting station with my guillotine and my Big Shot. And then in this dresser I have cutting stuff, I have my punches I use all the time, like my layered punches, circles, and my tab punches I use all the time, and then my Sizzix and my embossing folders all go in here. This next drawer is very messy. I found a way to organize them, I just haven't had time to do it. This is my ribbon, which makes me so happy. And then this, I have not yet found a way to organize this. This is my jewelry making drawer. You can see I have 2 new empty organizers that are still empty. By new, I mean they still have the sticker on them. I probably bought them a month ago. And then down here, I have just large cuts of fabric, including the piece to make my curtain. I'll make it. I wanted to show you this little organizer, which if I had to only keep 4 cubes out of my whole wall, I would keep this one, because over here you can see my paper trimmer and my scoreboard and that 2 little thing, and they're right next to my chair, literally at my right hand. This box right here holds A2 cards I've cut and usually scored and folded A2 cards. This one holds liners. Or mats. So an A2 card folded, right, is 5.5 by 4.25. So a liner is 5.25 by 4. So whenever I have scraps, I don't save a scrap any smaller than that. So I cut my scraps so they fit in that, so scraps go in there. This paper down here, unlike the mess over there, this is the only paper that is a good enough quality for me to use as a card base. I'm very fussy about my card base weights. I will not use a cheap flimsy base. Here, these are inks. I use almost exclusively Stampin' Up! Ink. I like how they coordinate. I like the consistency of the colors. I like that the re-inkers match so nice, and I know I can get them. So those 2 are both inks. This right here, Jenny Bolin, I think, showed us how she organized her stamps with these packages from Simon Says. So they're really heavy duty plastic. They're not a flimsy plastic at all. Heavy duty plastic with a flap. So I cut up all my stamp sets, which is hard for me to do. So I had things together because I'm more likely to say, okay, I need to make one with a martini glass on it. Yeah, I probably say that a lot. So I need to be able to find all of my alcohol stamps, rather than, I think this one actually came on a party one with a "You're Invited." I would totally forget that's on there. So I chose to break up my stamp sets and organize them this way. It does mean a lot of times I can't give credit for where the stamp set is from because I wasn't diligent about writing each image on there. But that's how I organize my stamps. And then just some more random things down there. So that's my craft room. Yay! Thanks for coming on the tour. Oh, we better not go out in the kitchen. That's messy. Have a great day. Bye-bye.